Thank you for joining us. I'm also the director and chaplain at Banyan Treatment Center's Faith and Recovery program. The Faith and Recovery program is a faith-based drug and alcohol treatment program. It's part of Banyan Treatment Centers. It's a non-denominational, Christ-centered program designed to allow clients to establish or restore their relationship with God. So if they never had one, they're going to establish a relationship with God. And if they did have one and fell away, they're going to restore that. And that's basically what we do in the program. We've had the program for 3 years, nearly 700 clients, tremendous success rate, and it's an amazing thing to see. It's beautiful to see the heart transformed. We have a special guest on today, and she is here in the studio. We have Tamera Sparkman, and her pet recovery and adoption center takes in injured, neglected, and unwanted cats and dogs from county shelters. And they do a lot more, and I'm going to let her explain about that. It's an amazing thing that you're doing. There's such a need out there. I don't know what it is lately. Maybe it's some of the things that I'm connected to on social media, but it seems like every day I come across a story where especially dogs, in particular pit bulls, are being, tormented and hurt and beaten and all this type of stuff. And I have one myself, and I actually, unfortunately, used to judge that breed as well at one point, because you read all these stories and things. And the reality is actually they're the most sweetest, incredible dogs that there is. I've had him for 2.5 years, never gotten aggressive. He's actually been certified as a therapy dog. He comes into our treatment center in Pompano Beach at Banyan. He goes to our Boca detox. He goes to our Stewart detox. The clients absolutely love him. And I can't get away with not bringing him in if I say I'm going to bring him in, because they'll remember. And they're like, where is he? Where is he? You said you were going to bring him in. So, the crazy thing about it is I'm in Broward County bringing him to all these places. He's putting tremendous joy in people's lives. He's putting smiles on all these different clients' faces who are really struggling with mental health disorders and addiction and trauma and everything you could think of. And then I have to bring him home to come down to the studio in Miami because he's banned. Pit bulls are banned in Miami-Dade County, which is probably really, if you really had one and got to know these dogs, it's the most ridiculous, unfair thing, I think, ever, And I know there's states, I know Michigan just overturned a lot of their breed-specific legislations, and that needs to happen in Miami. It needs to happen all over, because these dogs are the exact opposite of what people think, and what I used to think too. So I'm part of that. I used to think they were bad and evil and all this kind of stuff, and they are absolutely the total opposite of that. So anyway, I want to introduce our guest. Okay, here she is from the Animal Aid. Okay, she's from Animal Aid, and here she is, Tamera Sparkman. Welcome, Tamera.
Hello, and thanks for having me on your show today.
Thank you so much for coming down and to the studio, and thank you for what you do with these animals. You're dealing with abandoned, neglected, injured. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this, and tell us a little bit about what goes on with this, because people hear, Animal Aid, animal rescue, and, nobody really understands it too much, unless you're involved in it. So let's get some insight.
Well, you're right. It certainly is challenging, and it's sad, and it's easy to get angry sometimes when you see the neglect and cruelty. But it's also very rewarding to watch them turn around and recover. And it's just I love my work. I feel lucky that I'm able to do it. You asked me how I got started. Well, I actually came to South Florida on vacation from up north. I was from Virginia. I came here 20 years ago on vacation, and everywhere I went, every drive-through, every restaurant, every grocery store, I would see stray cats at the dumpsters, eating on the streets, dogs in Miami, and it was so concerning because we just didn't have that problem in Virginia. And I just felt compelled to move here and get involved and help make a difference.
Right.
And that's what I've been doing the last 20 years.
Wow, that's amazing. You see something, an injustice or something or someone suffering, and you have that compassion, and it really touches your heart, and then you actually took the next step and are doing something. How long? 20 years?
20 years now.
20 years.
But everybody can do a small part. Just taking in one animal from animal control saves that animal's life. So everybody could foster until the pet's adopted, or adopt a pet. There's so many ways that people could help just by volunteering, or even just donating or raising supplies for their local shelter. Everybody can help.
Absolutely. Great. We're very, very good advice there. So what goes on there? Like, where are most of these, how does this happen? And is it just neglect, or people don't want them, or they move and they just let them loose, or they're abusing them? Like, what do you deal with mostly since you've been doing this?
Well, all of that. We focus on those cases for our rescues. We work very closely with the county shelters, with Broward, Miami, Palm Beach, and Collier County, and we focus on those animals that are injured or hit by cars or abused or neglected, because we're fortunate enough that we have our own clinic in-house. So we're able to take care of these animals and provide the recovery that they need at a fraction of the cost that we would incur if we had to go to a regular veterinarian. So we have an opportunity of taking these dogs and cats in that basically other people aren't able to due to financial restrictions. Our place is funded completely by donations. We get no county or city help, but because of the clinic that we've set up, we're able to really accomplish so much.
That's great. That is really awesome. You know, just talking about the neglect and the cruelty to animals and all this type of stuff that goes on, I want to just reference this. We were just talking about this new law that actually goes into effect in Florida October 1st. Governor Rick Scott formally signed this law that creates harsher penalties for animal abusers. He signed it on April 5th. This is from Treasure Coast newspaper's editorial board. And basically it says animal advocates are praising the new Florida law that gives authorities the power to hand down tougher penalties to those convicted of animal cruelty. And then it says Governor Rick Scott signed the Ponce law, named after a Labrador Retriever puppy found beaten to death in the Ponce Inlet backyard in 2017. The law, which takes effect October 1st of this year, will allow a judge to bar someone convicted of animal cruelty from owning a pet, and makes it more likely the offender will go to prison. So it's not perfect, but we were saying it's a step in the right direction. At least we're heading in the right direction with this stuff, with this cruelty and abuse to animals. What are your thoughts on that, Tamera? This new law that's going into effect October 1st.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad for the law. It certainly brings awareness to the public. Just the fact that they are changing the laws and changing the thinking and giving animals the same rights that they would give to a child. We've got a long way to go, but at least there's momentum there, and there's a public outreach. So I'm grateful for that.
That's great. That's great. Do you think it will deter people? Do you think it will have an impact, or I don't know? What do you think? I mean, you probably dealt with people, you know, directly or indirectly in the last 20 years with people that are abusive to animals, or, you know, they bring them in from people that were abusive. I don't know what the mindset is behind that. I can't even really watch it when I'm seeing like an animal and some of the things that are done to them and any type of cruelty to them. It's just really, it hurts me a lot more now having a dog for the past 2.5 years. You know, it bothered me before, but not like now. I can't really even look at it. It just really hurts.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree with you, and I really do hope that it helps. But, you know, another aspect that people don't realize is sometimes animals are neglected just due to the family being in a position that they can't afford to go to get basic medical care. Sometimes just simple fleas can create such a problem that the owners are afraid to go forward. They're afraid to go to a vet, and a lot of animals suffer neglect just due to the fear of expenses. So that was one of the things we were hoping to help with, was to create a clinic, a sort of pay what you can clinic, where people could come to us for help without being judged, that we could provide what they need, because a lot of animals are suffering in homes quietly,
Yeah.
silently, where it's such a simple thing to help. Sometimes just simple vaccines can prevent such tragic diseases like
Right.
distemper and parvo.
Right.
You know, vaccine's $10. You know,
Yeah.
it can save a life. So we offer these low-cost vaccines, or free to people, or pay what they can. So we're hoping to help those animals too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never looked at it really like that, just the cost and everything. I mean, okay, somebody gives you a pet or you come across one, and as long as everything's okay and there's no illnesses or problems, it doesn't get hurt or anything, everything's fine. But then when something does happen, and all of a sudden you're looking at a $2,000, veterinarian bill, or $1,500 or whatever, some people just can't afford that.
That's
and that's kind of where it ends.
Right.
You know, I see these other things with people bringing dogs into shelters. There's one of them that's on Facebook now. The dog's actually crying. You know, I actually shared it, and it was just, the dog was crying. There's tears coming down because they put him in a shelter. They didn't want him anymore. And, it's just, it's something that, they have such compassion, these animals, and they're so loving, and we mean everything to them. I mean, to us and to some people that aren't really that good of pet owners or whatever, it's just an animal, and whatever. I'll play with it sometimes and hang out with it, but it's just an animal. But to them, to the actual animal, to the dog, the cat, whatever it is, we mean everything to them. My dog, when I go to work, when I leave, he looks like he's gonna cry. I mean, he looks, and he was abandoned. He was abandoned. He was homeless. He was on the street. He's a rescue. And I could just tell in the back of his mind, he's always thinking, is this guy going to come back? Is he going to abandon me too? And it's sad. It's really sad that they have to live like that. They're very, very emotional. Whenever I'm moving anything around, even if I go away, if my suitcase is out, he knows. He starts breathing really heavy. He gets really, really anxious. So, and I was helping my friend move the other day, and I have it on video. He actually opened the window, pushed the screen out, and he was climbing out the window to get to me. He did not want me. He thought I was leaving him.
Wow.
So and I'm sure you deal with all kinds of stuff like this, like just how loving they are and how emotional they are.
They depend on us for everything.
Yeah, exactly. They're dependent on us for everything, and you could see that in their eyes when they think that you might leave them, and it's just heartbreaking. But he has a lot of love now, and he has a great life, and he has so much fun, and he loves getting in the car and loves sticking his head out of the sunroof, and he loves going to the treatment centers. He loves people. He loves being around people. That's what they do. So we're going to need to take a quick break. We will be back in 30 seconds. Banyan's Faith and Recovery radio show, and we are here with Tamera, the owner of Animal Aid Inc. in Oakland Park, Florida. We'll be right back.
Are you struggling with addiction or mental health disorders? Banyan Treatment Center's Faith and Recovery program helps people at the depths of their despair, spreading the word that recovery is possible through the power of Christ.
Cry out to him. Where are you, God? Where are you? I don't feel you. Where's your presence? Why are you allowing this to happen? He already knows our thoughts anyway. We might as well just put it out there.
Program Director Anthony Acampora will help you discover how God can turn your mess into your message. Call Banyan Treatment Center for help now. 888-230-3122. Again, that's 888-230-3122.
Welcome back to Banyan's Faith and Recovery radio show. I'm your host, Anthony Acampora. We have a special guest on today, and she is the founder and president of Animal Aid Inc. And I want to give out their website because they have some amazing animals there for people to check out for adoption. It's if you go online, animal-aid.com, animal-aid.com. It has all the pictures, right, of all the animals and everything that's available. And you want to share a little bit more about Animal Aid and things that are going on? And
we do. We rescue and find homes for an average of 120 animals per month. And these are cats and dogs that would otherwise have been destroyed in county facilities. So every animal adopted from us is one more that we can save in their place. And on our website, people can view the cats and the dogs that we have currently for available, although that list gets updated every day. Our application for adoption is on there also, as well as information about the clinic and how to schedule an appointment to get your pet vaccinated or spay or neutered.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. I want to shift gears a little bit now, and we're going to talk a little bit about, therapy dogs and how impactful pets can be, especially those who are dealing with mental health disorders and those types of things, trauma, just all kinds of emotional situations. I want to mention this. I'm going to reference this article I saw online. It's from the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. And it says this, it says pets and therapy animals can help alleviate stress, anxiety, depression, and feelings of loneliness and social isolation. Interactions with animals can help people manage their long-term mental health conditions, according to this 2016 study. So, I mean, this is one of many, many studies, and Tamera, I think you're going to reference some things as well with this, but I mean, it's almost like a proven, documented fact now of how impactful animals could be, especially with, like we said, loneliness and, isolation. You don't really feel isolated if you have that little pup next to you, right? Or
Right.
a cat. So you
It's
feel
definitely a distraction.
you're not alone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's great. So what are your thoughts on that, Tamera? You've been dealing with this 20 years. You've been in this field. You started this amazing organization, and it's helped so many pets and animals, but also people. So
Right.
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, cats and dogs, they give such unconditional love, and they can really bring such joy to your life, and they love so much without judging.
Yes, yes.
They give you what maybe other relationships in your life don't, and maybe other social circles aren't as accepting, but your dog will always love you.
Yeah.
Even if your family, sometimes you feel like they're not there, your dog's always there for you, or your
Yeah.
cat, or even a bunny. You've got something there that needs you.
Right.
You know every morning that pet is depending on you for your
Yes.
care and your love, and without you, what would they do? And
Right.
it really gives people like a sense of
Purpose.
moving on
Yeah,
and
and you
staying.
have to be there for. You can't let them down.
That's
you know?
right. That's right.
You need to, I was just talking about this yesterday with someone because I brought my dog in, Luke the dog, and he's our therapy dog at Banyan, and we were talking about, it was actually in the mental health program, and I was doing a group there, and we were talking about this, and I remember my vet saying, he says, vets, he goes, himself and a lot of his colleagues, he said within about a minute they could tell if they're a rescue. Just by, they just have this like gratitude, just the way they carry themselves and the way they act. And I thought that was amazing, and it's so true. As we were talking about this, I was looking at Luke, my dog, and one kid said, he just goes, it's just like like you said, an unconditional love. Like they just have this, they forgive. We could learn so much from that. We talk about forgiveness all the time in our program and everything like that, and it's like they just instantly forgive. I don't think they forget, because like I said, you could see it in the back of his mind that he's always wondering if I'm going to leave him and things like that. But they don't like hold it against you. They don't hold grudges and resentments and
That's
unforgiveness.
right.
They just forgive you.
Right.
And it's absolutely amazing how they could do that. They have the capacity to do that, and sometimes people don't. It's really interesting. So as far as the pet therapy and utilizing support animals and things like that, what are your thoughts on that? How effective do you think that is? What has your experience been? And if you have anything you want to reference, yeah.
Oh yes, we follow up with our adopters, and I'm so often hearing them reflect on how much more active they are after having a dog. It gets them out, enjoying the fresh air, walking. They're more social with their neighbors. They go to dog parks. It's really opened up their social circle to other pet animal people. So it's really helped enrich people's lives by having
absolutely. Well, my dog, he's so cute. He's so beautiful. I have people coming up to me constantly. They're not coming up to me for me. They're coming up for him. And, and it makes me, I remember this guy I used to know from California. He lived on Venice Beach, and he was always trying to meet people, like women mainly. And so he bought a little dog, and that helped him a lot.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was so funny because he figured, well, that worked pretty well. He bought a little monkey. So he had this little monkey who used to walk around on Venice Beach, and all these girls would come up to him, and he'd have all these dates and stuff. I thought it was genius. I thought it was the funniest thing. Because without that, he would have really struggled in that area. But I won't mention his name because you never know if he's listening. But anyway, no, this is great. So tell us, there's some events coming up, and you have things going on all the time. Tell us
Yes,
a
we
little bit
do.
about that.
We do. We're about to celebrate our 19th anniversary.
Wow.
We're planning a gala in November.
Beautiful.
You'll see information about that on our website. And we're also doing a fundraiser on October 14th.
Yes, it's October 14th. So let's see, where is this? It's at the Fountain Spring Pavilion, 1501 Northwest 106th Avenue. It's in Plantation. It's called the Pet Adoption Event. I know Cobalt Bankers National Adoptive Pet Weekend for Animal Aid Inc. They're involved, I guess, and connected with that and things. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that's going to happen. And if you guys could get out there, if anybody listening could get out there, I think this is a really nice thing to do. My sister's involved with it as well, Bonnie Acampora, and she's involved with this event as well. So it's October 14th, 2018. It's at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Fountain Spring Pavilion, Plantation, Florida. So that's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a free event.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be some dogs there available for adoption. We're going to have food and raffles and prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope
Yes.
anyone listening can come out and join us.
Absolutely, yes. Come out, meet Tamera, right, and check out some of the dogs, and who knows, you may go home with a little furry friend.
That's right.
And you may have a companion and everything like that. I know that when, just from the other side of it, with having the dog and bringing them to work and bringing them to programs that people are really suffering and they're hurting and they're broken, and just how it changes the whole atmosphere. It makes the group run so much smoother. They talk, they share more, they're more engaged, they're laughing, they're smiling.
Exactly. When I walked in the studio, I'll confess, I was very nervous. I had the fear of the unknown. I was nervous, and as soon as I opened the door and started to walk down the hallway, I was greeted by your little dog, your little office dog, came to greet me, and all of the anxiety left. And I was so happy to see the little dog in the office, and all of a sudden I felt at home.
I was just telling them about that you were going to be on here, and she goes, "Oh yeah, she'd be so excited because she has to go on here all the time."
Changed everything,
doesn't it? It changes everything. I had a couple of times where clients were on the floor crying, just totally distraught. And I walked by with him, and they started petting him, and within probably 2 minutes they were smiling and then eventually laughing. And there's no way I could have done that. It's just, like I said, it says unconditional love, and it's just the way they are. I mean, there's something about it that just really, really, it helps. It lifts your spirits. It lifts you.
Absolutely.
It increases, whatever is going on in the brain, but there's no doubt about it. So tell us anyway. Again, we're gonna close in a minute or so. If any way people could connect with you or follow you or anything that you like to get out there for your place, Animal Aid Inc.
Yes, well, and we have on our website the links for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that if someone wanted to follow our rescue stories that we post. We also are supported completely by donations, so if you wanted to become maybe a monthly supporter or even just raise items from our wish list, we have our wish list there. For example, we could never have enough paper towels, trash bags, and laundry soap. So it's, just the little things really make a big difference. I mean, to us, a roll of paper towels like a gold bar. We're always out of them.
Yeah.
So anything will help. We're always looking for people to help us at events, such as the one coming up on October 14th,
Mm-hmm.
and or helping us at the shelter. So absolutely, our contact information is all on our website, animal-aid.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for coming out. Anybody listening, I would recommend going to this event, October 14th, Fountain Spring Pavilion, 1501 Northwest 106th Avenue, Plantation, Florida. And this is Tamera with Animal Aid. Her website is animal-aid.com. So check out the dogs and maybe take a couple of them home with you. Maybe, do people ever get two? Or did?
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're always glad they did.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure the other dog's glad too. They have a little buddy.
Exactly.
You know, awesome. Well, this was great. This was good information, and it's so great what you're doing. You know, like I said, you hear all these horror stories about animal cruelty and everything else. Great job, Rick Scott, for signing that law into effect. It goes into effect October 1st for the animal cruelty, stiffer penalties there, and that's definitely heading in the right direction. We need that. So I want to thank Tamera for coming out. If you or someone you know is in need of substance abuse treatment, contact us at 888-270-5712, 888-270-5712, or you can reach us online, faithandrecovery.com, faithandrecovery.com, or banyontreatmentcenter.com, or if you just have questions about addiction and things like that, 201-538-2754. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Tamera. I wish you all the best on what you're doing.
Thank you.
Continued success with all of these programs and everything that you're doing. It's great. I'd like to end with this verse, Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wounds. God bless you. Thanks for joining us.